Welcome to CATtheMinion Patreon. I'm doing a romantic relationship. I'm doing a relationship inquiry for the week of 9/29. It's going to be a regular romantic reading, as in it's not twin flame specific. It's a general romantic reading. And so hopefully you can hear me all right over my air. It got really humid and toasty today, and I'm having a hard time functioning, so I've got it on blast, and I'm also munching on some chocolate because I need it. So I've been directed to make an outline and do this reading in the style of those readers who'll have questions and then throw down a bunch of cards and not start with a specific spread. And to do this, I've got my charms, and I'm using every deck that I own because I only own 20 decks. So the way that this reading is going to go is there's going to be two sides. One is you and one is your person. And I'm sort of avoiding doing masculine and feminine. First of all, because it's a generic relationship reading. And you should have a pretty good idea once the cards start coming out of who is you and who is your person. So I've got a little list of questions. I've got the decks cleared and shuffled and in order to do this. So I'm going to get started. So it's going to be person A and person B, and you're going to know which one is you, hopefully. And you might be mirroring if you're in a relationship and you have some kind of connection with somebody. So go ahead and think of your romantic interest, and let's first find out how your person is being affected by Mars retrograde in Aries. Using my combined deck of Tim Burton and historical fashion playing cards. Doesn't shuffle that easily because it's thick and the cards aren't exactly entirely the same size. Okay, so these three are actually going the other way, so I'm going to take them. Because I wanted three of them. They flipped over while I was shuffling. Done with this guy. Queen of Cups. Seven of Cups inverted. Okay. So this is a Joker, but I've written it as a Knight of Cups. Because I believe I've made the pages, in the jacks into pages. So you have Knight of Cups, inverted. Seven of Cups, and the Queen of Cups. Let's check these energies real quick. Okay. So I feel like what's going on with person A here is they're balanced in their emotions, and they're sort of creative and flowing, and they've gone through a transformation, and they're just happy in, well, not maybe not happy, but they're in a place where they're creatively flowing through their emotions. When they come up, they're letting them come up and dealing with them and allowing it to transform them. We're not quite at full mastery here, but we're in this creative solutions process. And they're in a place of breaking through all this sort of distractions and flashiness that comes with a whole bunch of emotions coming in, people telling you how to feel, what you should feel, and all that. The Knight of Cups inverted here. At first I was thinking, oh, they've got an offer coming in with this Knight, but the Knight isn't being truthful. But what's interesting is that the Seven of Cups inverted is actually a good thing, because it means there's a clear path opening up. And the Knight inverted tells me the Hanged Man. So if they're expecting in some kind of offer to pull through out of the haze, whoever they're expecting to bring it in is still in a place where they're trying to have some kind of great cosmic inspiration to step forward. So let's get some the clarifiers. This is the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. So this part is how Mars in Aries is having an effect. On person A. So give me a card for the Queen. Saw it flip over. Cosmic Egg inverted. A card for the Seven. I feel like this actually goes with the Seven, and this goes with the Queen. Bear. Your mother's a bear. You're right to bear arms. Boy, bear, a couple of deer. Okay. And here we have one for the Joker. For the Knight of Cups inverted, we have Earthworm inverted. I don't think I've gotten this card that much. Look at that chakra energy. Technicolor rainbow. I feel like these cards are doing the same thing. It's just happening on a spirit level, and here it's happening on a material level, but we're ungrounded. Or whoever this knight is ungrounded. So let's take a look at this bear, also ungrounded. Perhaps this hibernation energy, but let's look at this. 61. Okay. So this bear is waking from spiritual slumber and beginning anew, which is what this Knight of Cups is trying to do. But it's out of balance, so it's withdrawal, lethargy, and heaviness. It's kind of how this Queen looks. But I feel like the heaviness is from transforming their own heart energy. They're not mastering it yet, but they're experiencing the creative solutions. They're still in a space where the effort to move through their emotions is difficult, and they're just kind of, they're waiting around a little bit, but they're actually a little bit further ahead of the knight that they're waiting for. You know, like I'm in the transformative state. I'm getting a hang of my emotions, but it's kind of like riding a bicycle. I'm still got my training wheels. So let's look at the cosmic egg that goes with the 7 here. Okay, so this has to do with the crown chakra. the Kundalini energy that wraps all the way from the bottom to the top and sort of opens up this portal for new beginnings. Okay, it says, each of the 6 lower chakras plays an important role along the journey, and once the final epicenter of consciousness is activated, it is said to radiate the light of a million suns. So what I see with this having the number 7 associated with it, and the 7 of Cups inverted, is sort of highlighting a one true thing out of the 7 things. It's like saying we've powered through the other 6 chakras and we're ready to light up, but it's in stasis. It's not happening, which should be if this card is inverted. And I think it's because both of the people on the Queen and the Knight that they're waiting for are in a state of not fully awake. I'm just skimming this. So when it's inverted, when it's out of balance, when the essence of the cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we'll never get there, or that we travel alone, disconnected from others. Fragmentation of modern life. Okay? And we see the fragmentation of modern life with the 7 over here. So let me check out Earthworm 62. Okay. So when it's out of balance like this, it says self-conscious and apprehensive, which is probably why this Knight is inverted. They're anxious to come over to the Queen because they're not quite sure what this cosmic energy is. They don't have that sort of internal clarity, and we see that. Like, I'm not a snake around this energy. I don't have an egg. It's just a puddle, and I'm only an earthworm. Right? We're not worthy. We're scum. We suck. So Earthworm is shy, hesitant, and reluctant to share their inner vision. So this Queen is trying to power up, and this one is anxious about it. Like, I'm trying to awaken into the feelings, and I haven't had my coffee yet. But the clarity is available, but neither party's reaching for it. Trying to gain some confidence in a new field. Thinks everyone else knows more than they do, so they might not try to come in with a new idea if they think the Queen's already thought of it. It says, rumor has it a beginner's mind offers the most valuable insights, so they might be holding back because they think what they have to say isn't worth anything. Alright, so let me get some charms for this. So a little bit off the board, I have the snowflake, and then right here I have the wintry mittens. It's like I'm going to catch it on my glove and look at the uniqueness of the individuality, right? That's that new idea that has insight, but it's sort of off on the side. Like, it's like I can't quite catch it. Now here with the Queen, I have the feminine energy. Which makes sense, because we see a Queen card. It doesn't have to be that they are the feminine. But it's... I want feminine energy to be the one that's giving me the sense of security. Which this in reverse is I don't feel safe in my home. And the bear is not wanting to come out of the cave because they think someone's out to get them. So the Mars and Aries energy for person A is perhaps convincing them that that they don't have anything worthy to say to anybody because they'll just be shot down, and that they're just trying to protect themselves, and they want a warm blanket instead of being kicked out of the nest kind of energy. All right, so let's see what person B is doing with Mars retrograding in Aries energy. And the Thoth deck. Almost the same energy. Queen of Cups inverted. Four of Wands, completion inverted. So Venus in Aries energy. And the Five of Swords, defeat. Venus in Aquarius. Notice I had Venus over here. Lately in my readings I've been getting the idea that Mars retrograding in Aries wants Venus to do the work for them. And they're not allowed to have that. And they're kind of stuck in this energy. Sort of ego showdown combative. But notice I have, essentially this is Four of Wands inverted. I don't have a foundation to be in. I'm not safe. And that is exactly what this card is doing. The Queen of Cups here is like full stop, I'm not here yet. It's sort of cutting to the chase of saying, you know, I know that if I'm resonating with this, if this person is me, I'm definitely not in with the Queen. And I feel defeated before I even start. A very Martian kind of essence of you know, choosing your battles, basically. So get some clarifiers. And for this, we're using the Blessed Bee deck by Lucy Cavendish. Okay, so we have, with the Queen of Cups inverted, I have a blessing to lift sadness. So notice I have a 3 and a 0. I have Fool energy, which I did see with the Aquarius energy over here, because it's Uranus. We have a transformative thing here, but it's happening in the dark because it's a moth. And we have the number 3, which is this Venus energy again. A blessing to lift sadness. Right? I'm horribly depressed. I don't know how to get out of it. I have no control over my emotions or how to process them whatsoever. I'm out of my element, Donnie. I also see 3 completions here. Right? And I'm feeling it's like 3 times the 10 of Swords. Pain upon pain upon pain. Somebody overkilled me, I'm dead. But again, it's like looking towards the Venus energy to help lift this emotional wounding. So with the 4 of Wands inverted, we have 19, a blessing on your creativity. I was gonna say something else, and then I heard Song Sung Blue by, Neil Diamond. My brain was like, Jewish Elvish! And I'm like, that's not okay. It also helps if I pronounce it correctly. So, Neil Diamond, Song Sung Blue. A blessing on your creativity. So this is saying in order to start rebuilding your foundation, you need to find an outlet for your emotional content. Right? I feel like this is the same Venus figure here. And she's like, hey, if you want the sun to start rising, this is something you can do. I'm not going to do it for you. And I feel like these remind me of the cranes. I think they're probably like fucking snowy egrets or something. No regrets. In the case of this reading, we'll just say they're snowy egrets, but they were reminding me of the crane in the Lenormand deck. And this idea of don't keep doing the same thing that you've always done. Change your energy in a creative way. It will help you creatively solve your emotional problems, which this person is at least making a start on, even though they don't feel comfortable. And over here with the agony of defeat, we have a blessing for good work, but it came in inverted. And I feel like it's coming in inverted because it's like, well, what good is work gonna do if everything I do turns to crap? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy of defeat. But notice that the 5 is actually the number of a pivot. 18, the number of the moon. So there's sort of a little bit of resistance, self-defeating energy, as in, they're not gonna like what I have anyway, so why bother? And that's kind of like what's happening over here. Here, there's this idea of, I can see the light, but I don't know how to do that for myself. Here, it's, I can see where I might be able to get a solution, but I feel like it's not going to work. So let's get some charms for this person B over here. I was really tense about being told to do this reading because of all the cards I was going to use, and I'm like, oh my god, this is going to take forever. I don't have the energy for this, but now that I'm into it, I'm kind of enjoying this. Okay, so one of these landed over here on this side, so I'm going to keep it with the Earthworm and the Knight of Cups inverted. It's a little fairy, fae person. It's supposed to be sort of gender neutral. And earlier today or yesterday when I got this charm, I was like, hey, listen. So I feel like it's the tiny inner voice that's trying to get you to, like, listen. Like, if you just listen, maybe to yourself, you'll be able to stop being so nervous. Like, have a little bit of faith. Right? Clap for yourself, or you're gonna die. Is that why they call it clap happy? A lot of charms over here. Over on defeat and a blessing for good work, I have a tulip inverted. And I feel like it's referring to this crown of flowers here. Like, I'm not getting any gifts or rewards, sort of like the crown mixed with the flowers on the side. Right? I didn't win a war. Nobody threw flowers for me when I got home. And I'm in this state of lack. And I'm like, why bother? So over here, I can see, if I can get it, I have the pills inverted, pill bottle inverted. I have the dodecahedron inverted, which I believe is spirit. I think the icosahedron is water, and I think this is spirit. So coming in the same place, it's telling me the cosmic egg inverted, so this person is mirroring a little bit. But interestingly enough, I have the tetrahedron. This sort of, there's a little tiny fire in the belly, and I feel like that's where this, it's reciprocating this 7 of cups inverted. Like I see a little tiny bit of the spark of the fire of the light. Like all is not quite lost. But down here, I have the liquor bottle, I have the waste paper basket, and I have the record player. So I get this idea that this person, in order to lift sadness and start their creativity, and hopefully to connect to this spark so they can get more spirituality involved with their life and more belief in themselves as an entity instead of just a meat sack, where giving up, they're in a place where they've given up the liquor and the pills and trying to shut off the broken record, right? I'm not going to drown out my sorrows anymore because I'm tired of being defeated by them and the method of trying to get them away from me, right? My method of self-hibernation by drugging myself into a coma, either literally or figuratively. So here's this snake. This is the Kundalini snake without the egg. It's searching for that pipeline to the crown. So we have Gizmo. He's my paying attention to the details kind of guy, right? It's like something that you need to care for yourself could either be, you know, emotionally stable, or it can turn into a nightmare. And this is this idea of sort of keeping track of yourself and checking in with yourself. So we have the beach here. I feel like this is a little bit of a vacation. It's sort of like changing your surroundings to get your energy shifted a little bit. I also have Jupiter, and it came out like this, so I feel like this is referencing when Jupiter went direct, which only just happened. And it's a fellow fire sign, Sagittarius energy, so I feel like the South Node energy is kicking in with the Mars retrograde in Aries to try to get the person to like turn the wheel in their life, right? This looks like the wheel over here. You know, it's like your axle's all frozen up. You need to get that turning. And I have this little crystal spire here. And it's sort of like the Ace of Pentacles. That's like, you know, you need this focus in order to manifest something different in your life. And then I have this lioness here, which is telling me basically Venus in Leo. I want that warmth. I want that nurturing. I also want that balance, that Libra energy as well. Okay. So let's see, clear the board here. Chocolate's getting warm. And we'll move on to the next segment. As I touch the worm card, I say segment. So we're looking at how Uranus retrograding in Taurus is affecting each person. So let's look at person A. A. Using the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. Woolly Bully stuck in my head now. So I had one card come out by itself and my head was like, uno, dos, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's how that song starts. Okay, so I have the Six of Swords inverted. The Sam, the Sham, and the Pharaohs, I think. With 19, which is the Tower in this deck. But doesn't mean like the Tower, it means like bureaucracy and institutions and stuff like that. So I have Six of Swords inverted. I have the Birds, Seven of Pentacles. And I have a choice. 22 with the Queen of Pentacles. Alright, so this is, what the hell is this? Uranus retrograding in Taurus. Okay. So an air card upside down with 2 earth cards upright. That's pretty well how it do. Let me just check these energies. I should stop munching now because I just finished my chocolate. Me. Uranus retrograding in Taurus. Six of Swords, Mercury in Aquarius. Seven of Pentacles, Saturn in Taurus. Queen of Pentacles, Sagittarius in Capricorn. So a little bit of that Saturn direct energy that's coming this week. Mercury in Libra, Venus, Saturn, and what? Taurus. Okay, so that's Venus energy as well. Alright, I got everybody sorted out. So choice, making a decision. Okay. So the Uranus retrograding in Taurus energy for person A is forcing them to make a decision on whether they want to keep listening to everyone around them, telling them how to be and what to do, and sort of fawning all over them and giving their opinion on, you know, oh, I love you today, but if you change your behavior, they'll be like, what the hell, man, you've changed. But this is sort of the choice between the status quo and restructuring your consciousness, basically. Yeah, your consciousness, the way you communicate with yourself and with other people might be changing if for person A when they make this decision. Yeah, you gotta choose, it's either them or me. But in this case, person A is sort of choosing if they want to restructure the fabric of their life, really. Touch the feel of cat. It's Aaron Neville there with the cotton commercial. Alright, so I've got the Syrian Starseed Tarot here for clarifier. Uranus retrograding in Taurus. So we have the Six of Chalices, Six of Cups to the Six of Swords inverted. To move these over a little bit because these are large cards. How much time have I got? 4 minutes. I hope I don't forget. Okay, and the other two. Transition. 13 inverted. This gives me David Bowie, Station to Station. So the lyric is transition. Transmission. So this card, I don't know how the hell this was. It was slightly cockeyed. The shadow. I think it goes this way. So this is 15. This is the Devil card in this deck, and it's starting to move. So we have Saturn actively going, turning to direct here. Although this is the Uranus retrograde in Taurus. But it's coming out on a card I think that already had Capricorn energy. Yes, it did. Sort of doubling down on the idea that the Queen is a transformative energy because she's also a 13. So I'm transitioning out of this keeping up with what everybody expects of me, or boxes they've labeled and put me into, and I'm going full on into something else. Six of Cups is the Scorpionic energy, the Sun in Scorpio. Right? So that Scorpionic Plutonian energy here is like I'm transforming how I've been in the past. I'm restructuring. The shadow is this idea of I'm releasing what I've been bound to and making a choice to do something else. 15 breaks down to 6, and I have 3 6s here. 12. And I also see 6 and 7 here is the 13 also. And then I have a 13 here. 15 breaks down to a 6, which is a choice and healing. So it's I'm choosing to step out of my shadow and become who I've always felt like I was, and not listen to the busybodies tell me who I am and what I do and what it is to. Oh, I don't even have that whole thing in there. Hopefully I was holding that up to the camera correctly, because I was not really looking. There. Okay. Is that still in focus? Yes. The person B, in dealing with Uranus retrograding in Taurus, to move these back over a little bit. Oh, I forgot about this, wasn't done yet. Charms for person A. Alright, so this is interesting. I have a lot of sound here. I have chirpy birds. I have the telephone. My telephone. Getting Lady Gaga with Beyonce there. Why are you calling me? The birds there. Now this is interesting. I have this fire hydrant that came next to the frying pan. I get this idea of like out of the frying pan into the fire. Right? Like, ooh, if I felt like I was getting roasted by people just pretending to go along with what they expect, maybe they're really going to turn up the heat when I try to be true to my own emotional level. But what's interesting is that on the shadow I have the harmonica, and I'm getting the idea of like I'm playing the blues, right? Because I'm releasing this blockage by sort of speaking up for myself, even if it's only I'm speaking up for myself in my own mind, right? It's that mercurial energy where thoughts and perceptions and communication change. And then also I have the speakers over here, right? So I'm amplifying my voice, and I'm able to transition because I'm finding an outlet for this consciousness shift. I'm expressing myself both, you know, through the throat chakra, which is what Aquarius is, but it's like in a new way. Because the microphone came in on the transition, and I'm speaking in a new way. I'm putting the shadow to bed, basically, and these two speakers are sort of came over here with the two choices, right? Am I left or am I right? Which way am I going? All right. So let's look at person B, the mystical shaman oracle. So this is how person B is experiencing Uranus retrograde in Taurus. 7, the child. So we have this like reference to childhood here, and then person B mirroring with the child. So this is number 7 here. I was thinking, oh, that's the number of the chariot. It looks like there's a bunch of moons on here. Cancerian energy. Deep in the waters of my childhood. So we have the corn, number 10. This is like abundance, basically. It's finally my season. Been waiting for this since I was little. And then water, 61. Interesting. The waters of my childhood. Basically over, and I've grown up. 7 inverted 7 here, and then it's left down to a 1-0 with a singularity and the number of the Fool, which is the Aquarian number. So let me read water, because I want to see what it means upside down. I think it has to do with nurturing, because it's in the Venus-ruled Taurus energy. Purification, regeneration, birth, revival, cleansing, evolutionary shift from former self to new self. Water begins without boundaries. As soon as form has separated itself from water, it comes under the laws of time, thus acquiring limitation. Okay, so once the child is born, they're sort of limited by the earth plane. The soul has to deal with the limitations of the body. What's needed in order to grow. Pentacles type energy. So inverted with this water. Also I see 61 inverted. It gives me this idea of the tower, which is fire, which was the opposite. But I'm seeing it here as it looks like 19, which is sun energy, which is also fire, the opposite of the moon. So there might be sort of like an eclipse energy here. Like masculine and feminine energy coming together. Or healing the masculine and feminine sides of the inner child. Time to cleanse unwanted energy and sticky feelings. What water does to the flesh, it does in sacred ritual to the spirit. Spiritual cleansing, like baptism, is the opportunity to get an instantaneous experience of the timeless, non-ordinary reality in which all true creation takes place. Now is also a time that is pregnant with potential for you. Carl Jung talks about the maternal womb-like significance of water as a universal symbol, the potency of existence. It precedes and sustains every creation, emergence from its manifestation, immersion in its dissolution of form. It symbolizes regeneration. Okay, so this is a transition that's inverted, and here potentially regeneration, but also inverted. And notice that 6 in 1 is 7, and it's sort of half of the death. So I feel like this is actually indicating somebody who's reincarnated and growing up or coming into this life to learn how to nurture themselves as a human body in order to actually reach a state of adulthood, both physically and or spiritually. And Uranus retrograding is in Taurus is saying, hey, we're talking about some kind of manifestation for you, but it has to do with the growth of your consciousness, and you have forgotten about it until now, which is really profound for being smack dab in the middle of a romantic reading. All right. Whoa. Okay, so I have a double that came out for water, and I'm going to take it. See those cards fling right out of there? Dreams of Gaia Tarot. Like an ad in the middle of a fucking show. Okay. So underneath the child, I have the King of Water. 14. Double this, right? I'm doubling my age. I'm doubling my maturity. I want to become master of the moon. I want to be able to have abundance and repeatability in my emotional content. I want this sort of fulfillment. I want to know that I have enough to get me through the winter. Speaking of winter, the Ten of Swords. Saturn and Sagittarius. But here, this card, it's more like going through a portal and having all this transformation. So again, we see that 10 and 10 completion, together judgment, which is fire, Pluto energy. Pluto is the ruler of death. And we have that like with over here, we have this idea of there's an inner fire, water inverted fire. And there's this resolution of karma if the energy of the Uranus retrograde in Taurus can be harnessed for person B. So under the water, literally under the water because it's inverted. So I have the crone, 6, right? I want to be able to grow up all the way. I want to reach this stage. I see more like a new moon energy, and then this little person down here looks like this child here, and like, look at me, how I've grown. My spirit is expanding in a challenged position. And then I have 13 in this deck is union. Now this could be person A and person B coming into union, but this could be I'm uniting with my spirit, right? I'm trying to have an experience where I can grow enough in the physical plane because there's something going on in my spirituality that keeps blocking me, and I end up not getting to the adult stage spiritually or physically. And again, butterfly with this transformation and this like growing up out of a stump, basically. So I have 6, and then I have 13, again, that dichotomy with the water right there. Experience what I'm saying. I want the union of physical wisdom and maturity to go with spiritual wisdom and maturity. So it seems like there's a similar tack of doing something that has to do with healing of a child essence, but the manner in which person A and person B are going about it in their life is drastically different, whereas with the Mars and Aries energy, it was actually quite similar. Okay. So this landed between the two of them, and we have the donut. It looks kind of like a butthole, but it's actually a donut. This is one of my new charms. So this has to do with a toroidal field. The yin-yang is a flat representation of a double torus. And what happens is you'd have two donuts stacked on top of each other. And the energy would circle around and go through the vortex in the middle and come back out the bottom of the other side and swirl back up and pop out the energy and swirl around and go back down the other way. So it's this loop, and the yin yang depicts like a cross section of the double donut. So it's saying that person A and person B have the potentiality to become that yin yang match. But what's here is sort of like if you could either be an asshole to each other, or you could be sweet to each other and then put your donuts together instead of only having one between you, because you're fighting to steal each other's energy to be whole. So what's coming out on the child here, I have the nervous system, anxiety, and glasses. These are like reading glasses, which to me could suggest age, but also like I need to look at it more. I need to find out why I have all this anxiety from growing up. On the corn, I have the heart. So this tells me water energy, because it's the heart center. Also very green over here. Down here, I have the narwhal. So we have swords energy right here, 10 of swords, plus the water. Being able to go in the water and find out the emotional truths. I have my UFO. It was inverted, so that's the chariot inverted, which is a 7 with water energy inverted. So that's just confirming that. I have a white flag, right? I surrender to the universe in that I am no longer trying to fight for my cause. I'm going to let myself slip into my own emotional content so that I can achieve that growth. And now similarly to, like, I'm going to find a solution. And then I have the icosahedron here, which is water. But it was inverted, so again, water inverted. Now, similar to the microphone and the harmonica and the speakers over here, and the telephone, I have the electric guitar. Now, this to me tells me current, right? We have all this water, and Aquarius is the wet air sign, Uranus retrograde. When you have a ground, you can plug it in, and then you're able to transmit this new Aquarius, new communication style, right? This is, guitars have been around for a few hundred years, but now for the last, 80 years, we've had electric guitars. It's a new innovation in communication. And I have a new way of, a new consciousness, a new vibe for my emotions. Okay, so this is what Uranus retrograde in Taurus is doing for person A and person B. So we'll clear this and go on to the next segment, next portion of the reading. It's going to take forever, but I'm actually really into this. I almost think I should release this publicly, but I really don't think I should. Okay, so we're going to do Saturn retrograding. No, Saturn going direct in Capricorn. So we picked up a little bit of that energy already. It's going to be, I think in December, Saturn's going to be back in Aquarius. So it's really going to pick up on that Uranus retrograde energy. But in the meantime, Saturn's in their home base. And instead of being kind of matchy-matchy with Mars retrograding in Aries, its home, Saturn's going to be direct in Capricorn for a couple months. And I'm feeling it, and I feel like it's good for me, but I mean, I have a Capricorn sun with a stellium besides, so it's been a grind for the summer for me anyway. But we're looking at person A, how they're dealing with the Saturn in going direct in Capricorn energy. So I've got the Lover's Oracle here. I leave these upside down until I read them because I don't want to be able to see them too clearly. I don't take these reverse. Unless they like flipped over and came out like that. Maybe it'd be reverse. Yeah, see, that one flipped over, so I'm going to leave that one like that and call that one reverse. Oh yeah, these don't have a bind. I'm going to put them... I can't put an elastic on those, so I just have to stick them back in the box. The OCD there. Okay. This card, I like to, the way that I see it lately, is like a kind of like a dryad who's gone over to talk to another tree, and whoever this is doesn't want to come out of their shell, but they're feeling in their heart the love between them with this other person. So this is for person A. So they may be in the shell, like that Queen of Cups with the little voodoo doll Queen of Cups there, or they could be the one on the outside trying to get in and just sort of having to have hope and have faith that this person is feeling them. Close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. Then we have this. This is a unity energy, masculine and feminine energies together in a protective bubble. Here it's in a protective bubble by themselves, with the other one on the outside. But here they're together within the force field, and we have a little bit more of higher chakra energy here. Here it doesn't really go higher than the green and blue of the heart and the throat. But here the energy is up in the indigo and violet range, in the crown and the third eye. Beware of what you are projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. And in the middle of reading that sentence, what I was getting is don't fart under the covers. My thing stopped on me. So I was saying, what I was getting was don't fart under the covers if you don't want to both smell it. With this. Right? Some kind of, you know, once you're in the cocoon thing with each other, you know, if one of you has bad breath, you're both gonna be gagging on it. But here it's like I'm getting a little bit of like, I'm afraid if I let you in, I'm going to mess this up. But this card coming in inverted, right here, they're not just together, they're like together. You're getting into it. But here it says sexual union. Honor the place in one another where you are one eternal soul, for there you will find true bliss. Okay, so we're not in here with this total crown energy. We're only in this sort of third eye space where we're not fully open to each other. For person A, dealing with Saturn direct in Capricorn. So what I'm seeing here is person A, whether they're this energy or this energy, it's like I'm afraid that if I let you in and we're both inside our little shell together, I'm gonna mess it up somehow, and we're not gonna be able to have this, right? I was thinking of the Devil card, Capricorn energy, right? There's this like sort of binding and being chained, and I was getting this idea of I'm afraid if I let you in and we're in the same little cocoon and I let you in, and or I come out of my shell and go into your cocoon, I'm afraid I'm going to drag you to hell with me, and it's going to ruin this forever instead of just putting it off in some way. basically it's like a fear of intimacy, like a preemptive blocking, so that like, so that instead of, it's like, I'm not gonna break the chains because I'd rather be bound. And it's like the difference between breaking a chain and having it rust. It's like, I'd rather keep you out than let you in and have our relationship crumble, which is sort of counterintuitive, but that's the energy that person A is dealing with. So for clarifier for these, I have the mini Rider-Waite. So cute. So let's get a card for the dry. Okay. I really don't want to double, but alright. Okay. So this is supposed to stay upright. There's the Queen of Cups again, like this person already had. And then in the challenge position, 7 of Swords. So instead of 7 of Cups, they're dealing with 7 of Swords with this particular planetary energy. Although we see that it's similar because it's dealing with the same issue overall. So Queen of Cups, Gemini and Cancer, and then the 7 of Swords, the Moon and Aquarius. Okay. So we have the Moon twice here. We're dealing with emotional content, obviously, because we have Cups here. Right? This is sort of thief in the night kind of energy. I'm pulling one over on you. But with Aquarius retrograding, it's like Capricorn kind of energy is sort of like, yeah, I'm going to be there soon too, but it's not all the way retrograde yet. But there's this idea of, you know, I'm being dishonest by not letting you in, but I'm afraid that I'm going to act this way and mess it up and steal your heart and break your heart and leave you wanting if I let you in. Or they're afraid that'll happen if, you know, they're vice versa. I kind of feel like this person is the one that's in the tree. Up in the tree house. So for this energy, what was this again? Oh, beware of what you're projecting, and this is, what the hell was this? Oh, deserving to feel joyful. Okay. This Queen of Cups is trying to get a hold of her emotions and be able to have a range instead of just hurt. But it's like, how am I going to get over, you know, the BS? So now we have 8 of Swords. I want to break free. It's sort of answering that Capricornian energy. Like, I don't want to be bound to, you know, hurting the other person all the time. I'm supposed to be growing something, and all I'm making is my tail on fire. And again, the idea of farting in the under the covers and both having to smell it. Let me see if I can, yeah. Definitely farting under the covers. So I'm just going to leave this here because this is the energy that I'm getting. Just to clarify that a little bit. And I'm going to get a card for this. 8 of Swords energy is Jupiter in Gemini. So that's actually the North and South nodes that are sort of opening up this panel. Alright, so we have the Wheel of Fortune to go with this sexual union in reverse. So this was Jupiter in Gemini, and now I have Sagittarius, Jupiter, fire energy to wheel turn. So there's a completion. 7 and 8, 15. That's that devil energy again. And then the Queen with the transformation. I want to feel like I can bet on having a happy relationship with intimacy. Right? It's like this Saturn direct in Capricorn is going to give person A this kick in the pants to let themselves out of their tree. This is their own mental prison that they've gotten themselves into. Some charms. Oh, now the fucking battery's gonna go. I swear to God, this reading just... I'm getting so many interruptions when I try to do readings. Either I'm tired and I don't feel like it, or I get distracted for 6 hours, or the battery goes, or the thing stops. Alright, so over here on this side we have Stonehenge. It's, you know those gifs where they have a person who's thinking and then they have all the math symbols in front of them, like trying to figure it out? This is the energy that I'm getting from Stonehenge, because it's sort of like a vast mathematical clock, but it does have to do with astrological stuff, so it's giving also that wheel energy. It's happened in different stages to capture different cosmic energies, which is what the wheel does when it turns, is it moves to a different energy position. Also, Jupiter being direct is sort of responding to Saturn going direct with it, so the planets aren't shearing their energies apart from each other, because it's two big heavyweights that were in sync retrograde, and then they were off sync with turning direct, and there's sort of like quarter-eye friction, and it's sort of opening up the ability to get out of this chained energy as well when the two heavyweights are going the same way again. So I have a shield here in the reverse, right? I'm shielded here, but if I want to break free, I need to put down my shield and cut myself out of this toilet paper here. I also have a mouse. And the energy that I'm getting from this is, oh, I'm scared of it, even though it's not that big a deal, right? Like an elephant terrified of a mouse. Like making a mountain out of a molehill. And I also have the stick of fork in me, I'm done, came out inverted as well. This to me is 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords coming inverted tells me I'm letting go of pain, right? I'm not just getting rid of these 10 swords, I'm getting rid of like these 8 swords, I'm getting rid of like all the pain and letting myself out. I'll see myself out. I see the money here, and I'm just getting money can't buy me love. Instead of like sneaking around and trying to get what you can from things. And I also have Weird Al over here. I'm not quite sure what song I meant to think of. I'm getting Achy Breaky Song. That's just what came to mind. Oh, don't play that song. That Achy Breaky Song. Okay. So it's a parody. And he's listing all this stuff that he would rather hear instead of the Achy Breaky Song. It was like skyrocketing fame for Billy Ray Cyrus in the early 90s. And one of the things that he listed was a Yoko Ono marathon, which is basically just screaming. Right? So it's like, instead of singing this dirge over and over again where I'm alone, I'd rather just scream into the void than to keep repeating this same thing that I do all the time. Right? If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome, that's the definition of insanity, and that's what this is doing right here. So we have the dolphin, who looks kind of like, I don't know why, but the expression I drew on this dolphin's face looks kind of perverted. I think this guy's definitely boning a dead fish. It's supposed to be dealing with, just heard Flipper. It's Flipper's theme song. But there's this idea of sort of playfulness and like joy and bounciness, and also dealing with like sonar. Like I'm picking up messages that are making me feel better, which is kind of what this Queen of Cups is doing. She doesn't look too happy, but she's picking up some messages coming in the waters, and she's looking at it. And then I have the syrup inverted. Now this is interesting because it's coming out on the tree, right? It's like I'm not gonna tap the tree with a bucket and wait for all the emotion to come out. Right? Like I'm not going to like stick a straw in you and try to suck love out of you and only get a little bit at a time, like a slow trickle that I have to boil down into something that is sweet to me, right? I'm not going to filter out your bitter emotions until it feels better, right? You're gonna come out of the tree wholesale. So we're gonna look at this Saturn direct in Capricorn energy for person B, but I'm going to change the battery so I don't have to stop midway through that part. Okay, so we're looking at person B dealing with the Saturn direct in Capricorn. I've got the Aquarian Tarot. Queen of Cups inverted again for them. 10 of Cups inverted. Seeing a pattern. Knight of Rods. Wow, okay. It's like, I'm really not happy, but I'm gonna stick my dick in it anyway. A little bit crass, but that's what I was picking up on. And obviously, not everyone who's in person B is gonna have that kind of equipment, but it's that energy. So Queen of Cups energy again, Gemini and Cancer inverted. So that could be Sun energy. Some Moon inverted. 10 of Cups. Mars and Pisces. Neptune's currently retrograde. Mars currently retrograde. And the Knight of Rods here, he has Scorpio and Sagittarius energy. Okay, so he's got that death scorpionic energy to go with the scorpionic 13 of the Queen over here. Okay, fire. Fire, fire, fire. Okay. Okay, I'm good. It's like I'm trudging forward through everything that makes me unhappy, as if I had hellhounds on my trail. Interesting. Okay, so let's get some clarifiers. Let's see if that pops back out. So I had the 3 of Wands stuck to my thumb when I pulled the band off of these. Okay. Ten of Wands coming up on Queen of Cups. Sort of emotional struggle to get the head above water. The inner transformation to deal with emotional content is really hard. But we're getting to the finish line, right? We've got a completion and a transformation to go with this other completion over here. The end of depression. The end of being overloaded. Saturn and Sagittarius. 4 of Swords in the challenge position. Jupiter in Libra, so that's Sagittarius energy with Venus energy. That follows. 14 balance potentially, and then we have the Four of Wands. So the 3 is what dropped out, but I see 8 here, which tells me this idea of strength and or justice, which goes back into that Venus and Leo energy. Now this has a rainbow upright where this had one down, so it's like whoever is in B, they're having this surge forward of Wands energy, but it's kind of like you're overdoing it, just running around trying to do stuff in order to not deal with your emotional content. And what you really need to do is just take a minute and rest to go from 13, combine it to 4 to get this here. But the idea that the Four of Wands is coming out with the Knight means that I'm ready to build. But they're facing like overwhelm and obstruction because they're not going to be happy until they work through their emotions. It's a very interesting feedback loop with desire versus work that needs to be done. So some charms. I saw this no symbol drop out over on this side, and I was getting that song, I think it's from the 60s. It's like, no, nobody can do like I do. And I think it's going through this list of stuff that he can cook too, because I think one of the words was fillet, like fillet. What's interesting is I have over here that fell off the side. This is the chalet, and it came in inverted, and that's usually like I'm trying to build my structure, but it's not very big yet. It's sort of like a lower vibration of the Four of Wands. So it's like I don't want to have to, you know, build something that I have to refurbish and add on to later. I want to start out on a grand scale. Like I'm hot to trot with this new plan. Now over here on the side I have the coffee, I have the text messages, and I have the flashlight. It's like I'm getting up so early to start my work and get out on the trail and doing my business on the phone, that it's still dark out and I gotta have my headlights on to go to work. Right? It's still dark when I'm trying to go to work. I got all this crap to deal with. I'm having, like, I need a little bit more caffeine in my system to go. So reverse, I have the Elephant, a little bit of not quite tapped into that full third eye energy. This high heels came out on the Wands. It's like I'm trying to get out there and get going, and I realized halfway down the mountain trail that I was not wearing the right shoes for this journey, and now I'm really sore. And I feel like the cowboy hat and the pants inverted are that same thing. Like I'm not in the right suit for this journey. Like my outfit is unsuitable for the weather. This rose came in inverted, and the cube came in inverted. There's the elephant, and the doorway came in inverted. Yeah. Sort of like opening a gateway to manifestation isn't going to do much unless you get into these emotional content. And some of that might be unpleasant because the emotions aren't just sweet and pretty. Some of them are, painful as well. So the Stegosaurus here, pretty, but can thwack you with the spikes, right? We're dealing with something that's been going on, left over from a long time. In some cases, it's like a global energy that's trying to be overcome. But also this is giving me the World, which is Saturn energy, which is Earth energy. Sagittarian arrow here. It's giving me this knight energy, like he's got a bunch of arrows on his back. He's gonna ride in and shoot them. He's trying to move ahead, trying to go ahead, sending the intention ahead of where you are right now. I feel behind in the world and where I want to be. And this idea of, in order to get this rejuvenation, you really have to look in the mirror. Now here I have sugar. Again, I said this idea of things being sweet. And notice that the sugar cubes are also cubes. Right, it's like I want, this came out on the Ten of Cups. It's like I really want to have a cup full of something manifesting that makes me feel good and energized. The seesaw here, this to me can represent the inner child. And it's coming in with this depression energy. And then I also have this eyeball. So we have the third eye here. It's like you need to open your eyes to what the depression is coming from. And this Queen of Cups has the third eye not quite open yet. So it's like she's struggling to see, or the Queen energy, there's this struggle to stabilize in the emotions because the depressive unhappiness needs to have another look. Like what's in the sugar bowl here? What's, you know, it's like if you can't put this whole bowl of sugar in your coffee, or it'll get sick. You need to drink some of it, you know, drink some of it a little bit bitter to get the full ambiance of waking up to a higher vibration in life. So that's what's going on for these two people in terms of Saturn direct in Capricorn. Right, it's like person A and person B might be dealing with stuff that you're not quite sure what's going on with them, and take it personally and then be like, oh, okay, well, I see what's going on now. So one more planetary aspect. I combined these together because I didn't have enough decks to do them separately, but I also thought that Mercury in Libra and Venus in Leo are kind of connected because Libra is ruled by Venus. So Mercury is going to be Gemini and Virgo energy, which is like the inner child of the Empress. And then the Gemini is the twins. It's the male and female duality, which everybody should have within them. And that's in Libra, which is balance, which is ruled by Venus, who also rules Taurus. So there's this aspect of a balance has to be grounded. And that with the spiritual, perceptive essence and the being in touch with manifestation essence. Now Venus is currently in Leo, which is essentially the strength card. Because you see the feminine figure on, sort of tending to the lion on many strength card images in the decks. So strength is ruled by Leo, which is the sun. But in many decks, the 8 of strength and the 11 of justice are switched, and 11 is strength and justice is 8. So those, the Libra energy and the Leo energy are kind of also these twin things where they're constantly fluctuating between themselves, where Venus and Mercury both rule 2 signs as well. So there's this sort of clusterfuck where you have 3 sets of twins, which leads up to the 6. So it might not be like, oh, it's a twin flame thing. It might be that the energies that are at play with Mercury and Libra and Venus and Leo have to do with dualities and dealing with unities for people within themselves. Trying to balance out the energy of Mars retrograding in Aries, demanding the attention of Venus to help them when Venus is got her own little gaggle of kids that she's trying to resolve. You know, like, hey, Dad, go work on your own problems. I'm sorting out the children. You know, I already had my retrograde. Okay, so let's look at how that whole body of energy is affecting each person. So we're looking at Mercury in Libra and Venus in Leo for person A. And I'm going to be using the Uno deck. Oh, that's way too many cards. I'm going to take that 0 though. So, yeah, that's Uranus retrograde. The Fool inverted. Okay. 5 of Pentacles in a challenge position. Oh wait, no, that's the 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords inverted. But it looks like a 0 because there's no 10. 10 of Swords inverted. 5 of Pentacles in the challenged position. And then the 3 of Wands. Okay, that's actually quite good. 10 of Swords. The Sun in Gemini. So we see Leo energy. We see Mercurial energy. 5 of Pentacles is Mercury in Taurus, so that's Venus and Mercury energy again, and then the 3 of Wands is the Sun in Aries, so that's Leo and that Mars energy, although it's upright. Okay. So I'm getting over my emotional trauma with these energies in order to balance out, and I'm trying to resolve this idea of being put out and things that I try to do not manifesting, right? I'm having a pivot, a shift, and then I've got this idea of the Venus energy with the number 3 coming in because of the Leo energy too, sort of giving a little, just a little bit of help to Mars, even though Mars is supposed to be doing their work on themselves. And if they're supposed to, if this is a 10, then it's 1, 0. And then 3 would be 13, which is a transformation energy. 18 total, the moon energy. So I'm going to clarify these with the Wild Unknown Tarot. Six of Pentacles inverted. Tower energy, 16. 5 of Swords inverted. Look at this. Crisscross energy. And the Chariot in the challenge position. So I have a 10 here again. There's shadow effects. The moon on his head. And a sun disk opening. Pentagram going back to Pentacles. Okay. Red energy on the side. What am I getting? What I got? Okay. In my music deck, I've made the 6 of Pentacles, Jane Oliver's song, The Right Garden, because I was thinking of this card when I made it. 6 of Pentacles is the moon in Taurus, okay? So you have this watery energy, and it sort of leads back to the High Priestess, even though I usually see her as Pisces. So there's this moon energy, it goes in hand with the Chariot. But it's inverted, which is telling me Sun energy, and then we have Taurus, which is Venus. So Venus is in the Sun, and there's this idea that this tower moment that person A is having is realizing that all their pain comes out of trying to manifest in the wrong area, in the wrong energy, right? This is not the right soil for these grapes. And I'm getting whine instead of wine. 5 of Swords. Venus in Aquarius. So we've got some Uranus retrograde energy peeking in here. But again, this Venus energy, this is the end of the mind games. I'm cutting this bullshit in half. Right? The mind games being, I was feeling like nothing I did was ever good enough. My stuff wasn't growing. I feel put out while I was trying to convince myself that this was the right place and time and energy to try to do these things, and it wasn't. So now I have a completion 10 with a pivot and a pivot. Notice that this is 11, which is divine timing number. And then I have the Chariot in a challenge position. I can see the future, but I'm having a hard time getting going. Right? My moon energy and my sun energy is sort of combative. I'm emotionally a little bit like I don't know how to feel about this situation yet. I'm just trying to get a handle on the practicality. And I'm not quite all the way together in my masculine and feminine energies, but I'm optimistic for the future now that I know what I've done wrong. Or done that was not working energetically for me. Out of flow. Did I show that at all? Hopefully I held those up. But, so let's get some charms for person A for this Mercury, Libra, Venus, Leo clusterfuck. So cool when they land right on the cards. Okay. So I saw the bat over here land on the Chariot, and I got this idea of like, oh, you're driving me batty, and then I was like, who's steering this ship? Because of navigation, sonar. Now this fox came out inverted over here as well. This is like, I'm slightly suspicious of you, but if I get to know you, I'm going to pop up and be all hyper and excited, right? So I'm a little bit wary. Like, I don't know if I want to come out from behind my tail because I don't know if I can trust people, right? Like, who's driving this? Like, who's in charge of this? Like, is somebody out to get me? Do I need to run away from the dogs? Now, with the Five of Swords inverted, I cannot brain today. I have the dumb, which makes sense if you're mind fucked. And I also have the tree. Now, it came out kind of like this, matchy-matchy with this inverted Six of Pentacles, but to be inverted, it would have to be this way. So it's like I'm turning this story around and finding out that I'm actually more grounded than I thought I was. I just couldn't think clearly. And then we have the DNA going the other way, and I feel like this is like I'm not going to keep replicating this situation. Now over here with these shitty vines, I had the ice cream cone inverted. Right, this doesn't taste very good. My fruits is bitter. And then I have this spiky club. And notice how similar these look. This is kind of one of my Ace of Wands charms. And then over here on this Five of Pentacles in the challenge position, I have my other Ace of Wands kind of charm, which is the fire. I just heard We Didn't Start the Fire, like Billy Joel. It's like all this crap that happened in society, and it's like things just keep going in these cycles where, you know, just constant like war and stuff happening, while meanwhile people just have their lives going on for them, and they're just sort of following a pattern throughout the generations. So this is sort of like I'm torching that whole concept of just trying to do everything that everyone else does because it's not working. Like, my stuff's not growing. And it's sort of like the ultimate spark is that illuminating this idea that there's no roots taking hold in the system as is. I have the 8 ball inverted with the 10 of Swords, right? I'm not going to try to let everyone else tell me what to do with my future. I'm not going to consult anyone else. I'm going to Eight of Swords break free and stop this continuous loop. Now over here, way over here, I have the water, right? So emotions are available, they haven't flowed all the way in yet. They're in my future, I'll have better emotional like I'll be better in touch with emotion. So the acorn inverted, and I'm getting this idea that like your future hasn't been planted yet necessarily, but there's a commitment to moving forward. Okay, so this is person A with that Venus and Mercury type stuff going on. So let's look at person B. So I'm using the Radley Valentine Angel Tarot. So person B, Mercury in Libra with Venus in Leo energy. I'm supposed to take that and that. I think it's this one. Wait, I'm not sure. I'm not sure either. I'm going to shuffle in because I'm not sure what other card was supposed to come out because I had a cluster. Oh, it did come out. Okay, so the Nine of Air inverted. Expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. So this is the Nightmares card. Nine of Swords. Mars in Gemini. So we have Mars retrograding in Gemini, upending the nightmares. We have 9 and 6, that's 15, plus 3 is the moon energy total here. 6 of Earth. It's this card the other way. Gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan, or paying off debts. So I feel like this energy for this person has to do with paying off karmic debts. I'm ending the nightmare. 6 and 3 is 9. And then we have the Empress, Archangel Gabriel. It's the angel of Annunciation when we have Mercury in Libra. Lavish abundance. Give birth to your dreams. Nurture yourself and others. Okay. Virgo energy as well. This looks really rosy, and it doesn't mean that every card that comes out is going to have to be challenging or bad. Whoever person B is getting a lot, like a real good, like a big cushion to lay on from the energies. Whereas person A still has some stuff to finish overcoming. Alright, so this is my music deck that I made for myself. And a card for the Empress. I think it's this one. Yeah, the Fool, Wake Me Up. And then I have... Which one is which? Okay. For the 6 of Earth, I have the Page of Swords. So this is Crypt of the Necrodancer, OST Zone 1, Level 2. This is from some game where the character has to move in rhythm to the music. And the music's done by the same guy that did the music for The Binding of Isaac. So this little page sprite here. It's actually a female, but that's fine because pages can often be feminine energy. A 1 or an 11. I just heard definitely 11. Alright, so that's the timing energy. 9, 11. 3, 0. 3, apparent 0. And then we have the King of Pentacles coming in with the 9 of Air. So this is the song Money by Pink Floyd. It could also be the Michael Jackson Money song, but I'm getting more the Pink Floyd one because it's more chill. So here we have this picture of the scarab with the sun disk here representing the third eye, and then the 2 lobes of the brain and the corpus callosum here. The brain stab. 11 minutes left. Okay. So the Empress in the Fool energy. The Fool is Aquarius energy, Uranus energy, which is currently retrograde. But this is coming in upright. So this Empress energy coming down for person B is really giving them this new start. Whereas person A hasn't quite gotten their new start yet, but they're starting to see a brighter future. So the Six of Earth here it can be a masculine energy, open heart chakra, because there's this idea of, I feel like I need to switch these. There we go, that's better. I almost switched them in my hand and then I changed my mind. Alright, so I'm putting the King of Pentacles 14 with the Six of Earth, which is 20, which is judgment, which is closing out karma. This works a lot better, I like that. Right? Money, but manifestation, the physical body. I am in line, I'm balanced, I'm being able to give and receive openly without judgment. 9/11, 9/11, emergency. I'm no longer living the nightmare. I'm going to go out and start living my truth. I'm just starting out. I'm a noob. I'm trying to get into my cosmic flow. I'm trying to get in rhythm with the universe. I'm making a new start. Because I feel like the universe has my back now, and that I'm no longer going to be punished for existing. Oh man, those were, okay, never mind. I thought I dumped some out, but they were over there from before. Okay, so I had some land over here. I have the skull inverted, so that's an internal death cycle transformation. And I have the pig here. And I have this idea of like digging for truffles. Right? But this soil doesn't have anything in it, so I'm not going to, get myself all muddy digging for something that's not there. And sort of stretched across between these two people, I have the boombox. And this kind of makes me think of that movie, I think it's John Cusack, where he's holding up the speakers, trying to get back with his love, trying to get her attention. So this is that sort of like make or break moment. It's like, I want to communicate my emotion to you. Like, I want to, like, I'm feeling the vibes and I want to be with you. So I have the watch inverted, and this idea of like, stop looking at the how many seconds have gone by, like, in terms of manifestation. I'm not doing the paper crane. I'm just going to put it back. I'm not feeling that. So on the Fool, I have the whale, this humpback whale. And I'm seeing it more as like in Star Trek 4 when they went back in time. They went back in time to get the whales to repopulate them in the future. And they built the special tank on the starship and then beamed the whales in there. So I feel like this is sort of like I'm waking up to this idea where I need to like reintroduce emotional depth into my life. So I have the scroll here and I have a thermometer. Yeah, I'm going back in time. I need the ancient wisdom from the whales. And I need to make sure that it's sort of like I'm trying to make sure that my emotions aren't frozen. And I'm going to read the instructions. Like, really get into it. This mouth here, which I don't know, came out inverted. So right on top of the Six of Earth, I have this magnifying glass. Right, I'm looking more closely at things, right? I'm paying off debts. I'm looking down at the bottom line. Okay, so this is like a bill. It kind of goes with this over here, right? I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's. I'm paying them off with my credit card. Make sure I got that CVV on there. Sun inverted. Camera inverted. Toilet inverted. And the killer rabbit inverted. What do these mean? Say the mouth inverted too. Talking shit. Okay. So this is like talking shit. It was inverted. And then I have the sun disc with the killer rabbit inverted. Now Arthur wore the sun disc, right? He's like the King of Pentacles. And he defeated the killer rabbit by throwing the holy hand grenade of Antioch and blowing him up into tiny little bits. And I feel like this camera is here to just say, like, remember this movie. You know, instead of, like, talking trash about the rabbit and thinking it's all innocent and just a harmless little bunny, you set yourself up for this, like, candid camera moment where you could have your ass handed to you if you don't have, like, a plan of action. Like, sort of this, like, ooh, I didn't quite think ahead, and was sort of glib with what I was getting myself into. But this is the turning that debt around. And notice that the ruler came out on the King of Pentacles. Now I'm really in charge of my own resources in the material world. So the sharks here, and I feel like this has to do again with emotional content. Shark-infested waters, but the whale is helping us get into the depths. The shark isn't always bad. It's also this like perpetual motion. And I feel, and this came out sort of close to this, so this perpetual motion is sort of rhythmic in the waves, and it has to do with being in the rhythm with the universe, emotionally in tune, psychically in tune. And that way, when you speak your truths, you're moving in tune with yourself and with the universe. You know, you're no longer biting off more than you can chew. So the Nine of Air has the shorts on it. And I feel like this is like the nightmare is being caught in public in your underwear. Right? Wildly unprepared for the situation. But no more. Like now you're moving in tune with the universe and you're getting more back. So this is the energy that's coming through for person B, for the Venus and Mercury and Libra and stuff. So the last part of this reading, after seeing what each person is sort of experiencing at this point in astrological clusterfuck time, is what does person A want to say to person B? What does person B want to say to person A? I'm gonna sip of water and make another segment. Okay, so what person A wants to say to person B. So I'm gonna be using my Twin Flame Pinnacle deck. I'm only using this deck because I've only got 20 decks. And I needed to use all of them. And this is not Twin Flame specific, don't worry about that. The only real thing that's going on with this deck is that the cards are labeled DM or DF for feminine or masculine energy. And everybody has both, so it may or may not be a factor in the cards that come out. But what's important is that these cards are 9 through Ace court cards, and there's a couple of wild cards in there that I labeled as other stuff. So what person A wants to say to person B at this point. King of Wands relative to feminine energy. Ace of Cups inverted related to feminine energy. Queen of Cups inverted related to feminine energy. Interesting. I just heard "You're everything I want, but you don't want me." I think that's Sleepwalker by Adam Lambert. So let me get clarifier cards, and those I'm going to be using the Work Your Light Oracle. I definitely feel like this Queen of Cups is sort of chasing after this King of Wands, who is ready to essentially, like, King of Wands is like the husband material. He's looking elsewhere, and what's between them is not a true love match, and they're not the same suit either. This doesn't necessarily mean that this relationship is full of failure. It's kind of like what they're wanting to say to the other person. I'm not sure which card I'm supposed to have. I had a couple come out weirdly, so I'm gonna just, okay. So the King of Wands, it says yes, just say yes, which is interesting because this looked like a no up here. And this looks like the Empress. So the Ace of Cups inverted. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. And this came in inverted, which means a delay or confusion. Okay. I'm not sure what to do because I'm not tapped into my heart center. I've sort of lost my contact with the universe somehow. Like, where are you at? I can't find you. This also looks like the Empress. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And this came in inverted with this Queen. Oh, she's inverted, so she's actually looking the other way. Okay, I read that wrong. It's hard when the cards are mirrored. Okay. So the Queen is looking that way, the King is looking that way, and the Cup is going the wrong way. Okay. I'm ignoring my intuition. I'm not tapping into my heart center. I'm not feeling this divine intuition. But yes, I want to go out somewhere and seek my person. I want that nurturing energy. Right? They're looking for that Venus energy, whether they're masculine or feminine in reality. They're fully in control of their desire. Like, yes, this is, I know what I want, but I can't figure out in the universe how the hell I'm gonna get it. Okay, I get you now. I get you now. That was my bad because I read that wrong because it looked like it was upright, but it wasn't. Somebody got a lot on their mind. The other side. done yet? Okay, I think that's it. One more. Okay. All right. Glove. I feel like it looks like I want to handle it with kid gloves. Swan. This to me is representative of emotions. The Wild Unknown Tarot, the court cards for cups or swans, so I feel like this is sort of picking up on this heart court energy. Like, I'm in wands because I feel like I have to handle my emotions with kid gloves. But I know what I want, right? I want this sunshine and rainbows. I'd like to be able to get into my emotions. It's like somehow I'm putting my cart before my horse and I'm not quite... Like, I don't have another horse to fully pull my chariot. I don't want to walk away. I want to fix this. I have this octahedron up here, which represents air energy. Swords. It could be 8 of Swords, right? I want to break out of my own mental prison. It's like I'm trying to figure out the truth. So, in reverse, I have the Polaroid. It's like I'm not quite seeing... It's like something about the past isn't fully being seen yet. Like, something isn't developing yet. I can't seem to unlock this new development. So I have a sword in reverse here as well. So the truth of the emotional content is not really readily available, because I need to dig deeper for the truth. This spade is my other Ace of Swords, but I got one up and one down. I have the Seed inverted. I'm not quite sure where to begin. I'm really unhappy that I can't seem to figure out what I'm doing. But I know I can't just fudge it. Magician hat reversed. I can't just fudge it. I know I need to do something. So I've got the front of the credit card. I know this idea that, like, trying to get somewhere in a relationship before it cost me a lot. And then also in reverse, I have the rooster. Like, I'm afraid to cross to the other side because I might get, you know, it might cost me a lot again. Also in reverse, off to the side, I have the halo and the star, right? It's like, you know, where's my guardian angel at? My stars aren't aligning. What the hell? So I have an umbrella and the man here. It's like I'm ready to shield myself from those emotions if they come up to when I'm not ready for them. Singing in the rain there a little bit. Twerking in the rain. Why you not? Okay, so I've got the top hat and the piano together. Just sort of like, seems like fancy. Not quite sure, but it's like a real fancy concert. I have the sunglasses with the T. Like I've been shading myself from the real T. This is the Tesla coils, the Zeusophone. Sort of current, very much Aquarian style energy. And then I have a battery here as well. It's like I'm trying to get up the energy to get this communication going. I'm afraid of bleeding myself dry. And I don't want my tower to come down again. Okay, so the tower coming down is a lot like a piano falling down the stairs. And then the top hat is did I have the magician hat with this stuff? Yeah, I did. There, I'm not pulling that killer rabbit out of the hat again. It's just like I'm changing. Like I'm gonna put on my thinking cap in some way. So there's a, like, this person has a lot to say in terms of the charms, but it's sort of choked up. It's like I have so much to say and I know what I want, but I can't, like, my perception is sort of like I can't think. There's nothing coming from my heart center and my intuition is blocked. So all I know is what I feel, like what I feel in my gut. Because my brain is fucked and my heart is fucked. I'm only operating out of one of the power centers of my body. And I'm trying to make that connection and it keeps short-circuiting. And I can't just magically wish it that way. I have to really put the effort in. You know, it's going to cost me a lot to get to my crown center. I need to get a top hat. And all I've got is like a handkerchief on my head. Ow! Alright, so this is person A. So let's look at what person B wants to say to person A. So I've got my phrase deck that I made. So we'll start with this. This is person B want to say to person A. That's too many. Okay, so taking these three. That is some really bright energy. It's hurting my retinas. Oh, my retinas. My love will drown your soul, number 3. No, I don't believe you. Why would you lie to me? 183. Going in a chariot, 494, alternatively 1276. Okay, so over here I said putting the cart before the horse, but they don't have another horse to make the chariot. That's weird. I'm gonna get some other cards before I get into what these are. The Morgan Greer Tarot. Something for my love will drown your soul. I mean, obviously that 3 is telling me Empress energy, but it also could be 3 of Swords. Okay, so I'm getting a double for this. 3 of Cups with the High Priestess inverted. Well, my love will drown your soul. The High Priestess. The High Priestess is moon energy, which could be watery, but inverted. It could be that drowning energy, but an inverted moon could also be sun energy. Venus is in Leo. Right, but I associate the High Priestess with Piscean energy, and Neptune is retrograde through November, and it's also a watery planet. 3 of Cups is Mercury in Cancer, but it's inverted. So this is also giving me inverted moon energy with potential sun. Now, when I say the Hierophant, for me the Hierophant can be achieved with the masculine energy by being the Magician and the Emperor. The Emperor is the masculine who's balanced in all the kingdoms of manifestation. And then adding the 1 Magician number to him is he's also attuned to the spiritual, and he's getting those downloads. The Hierophant is ruled by Venus, number 5, Taurian energy. And for the feminine energy to reach the Hierophant, she's the High Priestess, and 3, the Empress. But here, this vibration is, it's a lower vibration. It's only the 3 of Cups. But it's like, I'm not celebrating. I'm also not intuiting clearly. But I'm having this Venus energy, which is like love and abundance and nurturing. So in this sense, it's not like, it's more like I'm perceiving right now that if I try to give my affection to you, it's going to completely smother you. Right? All this water just dumped on it, and this king's having a hard time already, and he's like, no, please don't. Especially with this Queen of Cups and the Ace of Cups inverted over here. So, I don't believe you. Why would you lie to me? Why is this here? Oh, okay. I'm hearing that I need another one of these. It's supposed to be a double message. So what's interesting is that person B is requiring... They're sort of speaking cryptically, whereas this person has a ton to say all at once and can't get any of it out. This person is sort of... They're being a little bit, like, evasive and cheeky with how they're trying to communicate. You know I love you, 36, but it came out kind of like this. Okay, so I'm seeing, I don't believe you, why would you lie to me? I know you love me. That's what I'm getting. Sort of incredulous that they know that person A has lied, and they're like, what the crap, man? Like, I'm gonna love you to death, so why am I not getting the same in return? So a little bit, sort of a Cancerian energy of, don't go away, love me. Like Dr. Evil trying to get Scott to hug him. Alright, so let me clarify this with... I got 2 cards again. Jesus Christ, person B, what the hell? So I have the King of Cups inverted. Alright, so it's like, I know... I'm picking up on this energy. This might be person B over here, especially because they kept getting Queen of Cups inverted. And then they're like, I know that we're matched up because you're also off your head in your emotions. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles inverted. This can all be like all the single ladies card. King of Cups. Libra and Scorpio, I need to go deeper in order to master my emotions. Could be a 1, it could be a 10, so it could be a completion. Here's this glove. 9 of Pentacles, Venus in Virgo. Okay? So there's this idea of I need to go deeper into my childhood wounds while this Venus energy and Libra and all that's going on in order to 14, 9, and 5 balance and make a completion here. Also 36, 9 goes here, right? I know you love me. And this is sort of like, why would you lie to me? You're breaking my heart. Let me see what this going in a chariot brings out. I'm your vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you want to go. Got candy, got pictures. I'm a lovable man. I'll take you to the nearest show. Sounds kind of creepy in today's context. Challenge position, 7 of Cups. I think this came out earlier. This is the popcorn version. Pop, pop, get freaky. This reminds me of the end of Real Genius when they blow up Dickhead's house there. So 7 of Cups responding to Chariot 7 number. Venus in Scorpio, right? Again, I need to go deeper to find nurturing. I'm trying to figure out what all this stuff, 7, half of the King, what all this stuff is that isn't part of my emotional thing. Once I clear it up, I'll be able to hitch up the other wheel to this, the other horse to this cart, and we can go. Right, so there's this a little bit of confusion still, especially if, like, I don't understand why you lied to me, because, like, I totally know that you did, and this person's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that, but I have all these thoughts that I'm not really addressing. So this butterfly landed out on Trust the Niggle. There's this transformation that happens when you start being able to actually tune into your heart and listen to it. In between them, I have the wheel. I almost said when you need to put that other wheel on the cart. Look at that. Cart has a flat tire. Need a Wainwright in there, goddammit. So peace. The dawning of the age of the Aquarius, peace will guide the planet. And love will steer the stars. So I have Saturn energy here, which was prevalent earlier on. Venus inverted or Capricorn inverted. So this is like a 6 of Pentacles inverted, and I saw that earlier with the things aren't going to grow without love. It's like, which way are we going here? Right? You can't have the Chariot if you don't have a vector to go in, right? You can't just sit there, you got to move. So the letter inverted, coming up on why would you lie to me? It's like, I need you to really get in and tell me, like, all of the things. And this gumball machine is just sort of like hitting a feeder bar to get treats. I had the owl come out over here, so it's just sort of like wisdom and downloads, also representative of the Empress, like a like Inanna. She had owls. And I have this lily here. Now, the lilies in the Lenormand is a calla lily, but it's this idea of the dichotomy between reality and spirituality, or things that are tangible and things that are fake. And also I have this bone here. Like, maybe I have a bone to pick with you, or like, can't we just make up in bone, or like, I really want to talk about the history, or like, let's get down to like to the like the bare bones of the situation. I'm gonna get a Work Your Light Oracle to wrap up the reading, and one more message card, because I think there is something else that needs to be said about what they want to say to each other, if they could. Okay, so it came out kind of inverted. Starseed, what lights you up? We have Jupiter and Saturn energy here with a lot of water. Okay, so it's like I'm struggling to find, I'm still a little confused, still a little bit dragging my feet on what really lights me up. Even though they know what they want, they're sort of not able to fully articulate the depth and breadth of what really excites them. Take a well-deserved rest, 426. So I see the High Priestess, I see the Emperor, and then I see the Lovers here as well. Breaks down to 12, which is the Hangman, which breaks down to 3, which is the Empress. So it's like, I need to chill for a minute and stop trying to like smother you with my emotional like neediness while you get yourself situated and make sure you know what it is that you really want. Like, what is your calling and resonance? Get in touch with your higher self, and I'll take a break and finish working out my own stuff so that we can maybe come together or figure out if we're going or staying. Alright, so that's long and a lot, and if you want to get a personal reading, you can hit me up. thecatcamebackatcamp@gmail.com if you want to see the complete list of readings I have and how much they cost. It's in the description box of my infomercial video. I'll put a link down below. If you want to continue to contribute to my channel, you can level up on Patreon if that's still available. You can hit the tip jar, paypal.me/CATtheMinion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. I've got merchant prints on Cafe Press and DeviantArt. I've got coloring books and a poetry book on Amazon. I've got actual art items in my catalog, including foam lotuses, stuffed animals, chapbook packs, and individual drawings and paintings. Once they're gone, they're gone. So all that information is going to be in that description box, or you can just email me and I'll get you that whole list. If you're not already, go ahead and subscribe on my open YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.